Welcome back live on a Monday night here on News Channel 5 Plus. Rory Johnston with you for Open Line, and an important one tonight as we continue our discussion of some unsolved murders, local unsolved murders. We want to welcome back Earl Jordan, and also two more guests have joined us, and that's Nedra Jones and Lachelle Bigsby, who both unfortunately have something in common. They've both lost sons to violent crime. Thank you both for being here with us. Nedra, I want to start with you. Montanez, just last summer, was 25 years old. What happened?
Well, he was over visiting his children at, what's the name of Tony Sudacum, something like that.
Yeah, Sudacum Homes.
Yes, he was over there visiting his children. He had three girls live there, and some kind of altercation about somebody, a guy texting a girl or something. And him and the guy had a few words, but they squashed it. They shook hands and went on about their business. And then this guy and some of his buddies got to arguing later, but then they went on about their business. Well, when my son was getting ready to tell my nephew and them that he's finna go in the house and stay, he was in the house, but he was coming out to talk to them. And as he come out, walked out the door, somebody ran up behind him and shot him. And
that was it.
That was
Killed him right there.
Right there.
What's the latest in the case? What have detectives said? They have a person of interest, but no arrest. Is that right?
Right. They know who had sold the person the gun, but the person that sold the murderer the gun he's saying that he's not going to tell who it is or something. So I think he's locked up. I'm not sure, but not on this case, not anything about this. And then also the guy who texts the murderer to come over, they've talked to him, and he's not willing to give up anything. He said, and he's been in trouble too. He's on paper. He said he'd rather take a parole violation, than to rat on his friends.
So now your son is gone, and your three granddaughters don't have a dad.
Don't have a father, nope.
Has it been hard to explain to them?
Well, they too young. The 5-year-old, she knows, but she don't know.
Right.
And then he have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. So the 2 and 1-year-old don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, the 2-year-old, she walks around all the time with his picture, talking about daddy, because that was his hip baby. Where he went, she went.
Yeah.
You know, he had just put her down that night for bed, they said.
Yeah.
Because she probably would have been with him, you know, so. The 5-year-old, she still have it hard. She was having a hard time at school when school first started, and she still cries and, you know, all that. So it's rough.
It is. All right. Lachelle Bigsby is here also. Your son, Ronquez, sorry, was killed in 2010, and he was just 14.
Yes.
And what happened in his case?
It was the night before school. He went out to a back-to-school party, and I really don't know the altercation that happened between him and the young man or men that took his life. His last words to me was, "Mom," you know, because I didn't want him to go because school was starting, and you know, he ended up going anyway. And his last words was, "Mama, I'll be back. I promise I'll be back." And that was the last I seen my son.
This happened in the James Casey homes?
James Casey, yes, on the South 8 block. There was several people out. Like I said, it was a back-to-school party. It was people out that witnessed it, that, you know, really just don't want to come forward. We had one young lady that actually seen it, you know, I mean, face to face, and actually said she held him in her arms. He died in her arms, and she won't talk. You know, we can't get anybody to talk. He was shot twice. He would have been a freshman in high school. So my baby didn't even get to make it to high school. He didn't even get to live life. I really don't know.
So it'll be 5 years this August.
Yes.
For you. How have you gotten through this?
It's been hard. but I've got through it by the grace of God and the help of Earl Jordan and some of my sisters that's part of Partners of the Struggle that's going through the same thing that I'm going through. So with the help of them, that's what got me by.
I mean, this is important enough for both of you after a busy day to come in here and take your time to speak out. Why? What do you hope someone out there knows, has information, right?
Yes, I'm hoping someone out there. It's a lot of people out there that have information because the streets was crowded. It's a lot of them that know something. It's a girl that was right there, and she's recently moved out from Tonasuitical, and she's moved to Gallatin. They've talked to her. She won't give up any information. You know, so it's people out there that know stuff, and they do need to come forward and tell what they know because, you know, I've said it before, it could happen to them. You know, these people, they took my son's life or her son's life or some of the other, they can take their life or somebody in their family. You know, nobody's safe, you know, from these people because they think that they've gotten away with it, and if I got away with it this time, I might can do it again,
right? And
get away with it again, right. You know. So I feel like if you did it, be a man enough, a woman, or whatever they are, whoever they are, come on up and do your time.
I think Jaquita said something earlier, Earl, that made sense, and that is, you know, as she carries this burden and you carry this burden, there's people who did it carrying a burden.
Yeah.
People who have information, you know, they're carrying a burden.
Yes.
And there's a side of them in all of us. Right. You know, like when I was a little boy, and you know, I knew I'd done something wrong, and I lied to my parents, and you know what it felt like to be able to tell the truth.
Right.
And,
right.
It's called
you
conscious.
Can breathe.
Yes.
Right.
Well, it's actually a guy that's in federal penitentiary right now, and he's on other murder charges and some more charges, and he's actually confessed to actually being there. And he told them that he's not going to tell them who the actual shooter was because he has nothing to gain from it and he has nothing to lose. So he's not willing to talk. And so I mean, we knew that from day one that he was a main suspect because in the beginning he actually lied about his whereabouts.
Right.
They did the phone records, and they bounced off the towers of where my son was killed. So they knew he was there, you know, from day one. And then it's another young guy. The night my son was killed, they took him in for questioning. He was 16 at the time.
And here's a photo we're putting up.
They took him in for questioning, and they actually dust his hands for gun residue, powder or whatever, and it came back positive that he had shot a gun within 24 hours. Now, these are the two suspects that everyone that was out that night said that they saw.
Right.
And they let him go, just let him go scot-free. He told them that, oh, I buy guns and I shoot them all the time to test them out. And they let him go with that.
Frustrating.
Yeah, very, very.
What do you hope happens with this unsolved murder national project that's going on right now?
We're hoping we get some justice.
Answers,
some
closure.
answers, something, you know, as you say, us knowing why it happened is probably not going to help us, but it'll help me, you know, and I'm sure it'll help them. Why him? You know, why my son out of all the people? If you didn't know him, why would you come and take my son's life? You know, we'll get some closure. You know, they'll be able to do the time. They did the crime, so they can do the time. So I'm just hoping, not just for me, not just for Lachelle, but a lot of the other mothers.
And in your case specifically, Nidra, I mean, this is still pretty fresh. I mean, this is less than a year.
Yes, it's been almost 8 months.
So I know you're anxious to let's stay on this case.
Yes. And any way I can talk or be seen, be heard, or whatever, I want to do it.
Police have a person of interest. Do you know who that person is? Without naming names, or do you have an idea?
My sister know more than I know. I haven't been able to talk to her. My sister is my family spokesperson, so my sister know more than I know about everything that's going on with the case.
How has Partners in the Struggle helped you both? And this man, Earl.
He's been wonderful. He comes. Me and Earl been through this before. 13. We've been together 13 years now. I had a fiance that was murdered. And so Earl came to me then, so we've been together then.
Wow.
You know, he steps in and he calls you. He just see what you need. You know, he's there for you. And then he connects us with each other. You know, and we exchange numbers. And if we want to call each other, we can. You know, if we don't, when we see each other out, we got a friendly. You know, you get a friendly hug, or smile, or something. You know.
Yeah.
So
with me, I mean, he's been nothing but great. I can't say anything less of him. He's been great. I mean, when I feel like I have no support or no one to talk to, I can always pick up the phone and call Earl, you know, and he's always willing to listen, give advice, talk. Every year, you know, for my son's birthday, I have a candlelight visual or, you know, do a balloon release. Earl's there. If he, you know, if he can make it, he's there. And also on his death date, I do a visual. Earl makes it his business to be there. He has been nothing but support to me. He's been great.
Want to take another?
He's heaven sent. That's what you call it. He's heaven sent.
Let's go to William, who's been holding patiently. William, sorry to make you wait. Go ahead, sir.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Archbishop William Brown, and I want to commend to Mr. Jordan. He's doing an excellent job. And one of the things I'm having a struggle with here, I'm in the Clarksville, Tennessee area, still in the Nashville Metroplex.
Yeah.
Why isn't it no black men calling in? The black men need to step up. What I want to do, Mr. Jordan, is get involved and take up a cause with you. Our communion, our church looks for causes, and this is a cause that's needed desperately. So I want to get involved. I want to put the metal to the pedal. It's time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling, William. We do appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, it takes so many more people. Everybody's got to be involved in this. We wish you both the best of luck. Thanks for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so much.
it. We're going to take another break, everybody, and the open line will continue right after this.